most people that I've talked to, at least, there will be moments of their lives or times of their lives where they feel that, maybe falling in love, or for myself, the first time I felt it strongly, I was playing music, I was playing with a band, and all of a sudden everything just became right there. Everything was totally in sync musically, and I got stoned, and it was like a drug with clarity. So, and that kind of brought me into this, starting to look in this direction. So here we are right now in our wholeness and getting to the idea of the 21st century. One of the things I was wondering, just because I had no idea who was going to come here, how many of you have lived most of your life in the 21st century? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that's kind of an interesting one. One of the ways I look at it, since I've been here much longer than anybody else, is the 20th century was like a very intellectualized, very scientific time. There was a lot of study and research and a lot of really intellect going on. And what's happening in this 21st century is there's an incredible amount of energy and shifting and changing that's going on, and that intellectual identity isn't working anymore. There's no way to hold a real stable place in the world anymore, and it's creating, of course, a lot of difficulty for people. That's one of the things that I'm hearing more and more from people. It's like, I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know what kind of direction I should take. There's not changes going on for me, or there's no stability from the outside world where I can even say I'm going to have a job in 5 years. So it's like, how do we start coping with that? And this is where the 4 streams come in. If I start by paying attention to myself on a physical level and start getting aware of who I am in the moment as a physical being, that begins to ground me. So that would be the first start, the first place to start. For myself, in the morning, I usually spend about a half an hour before I even get up, just noticing myself as a physical body. And what's happened as a result of that is when I move through the day, I don't get stuck up in my head, which is something that's very easy for me to do, and get caught up in thinking. And so as we move through our lives, if we start paying attention, how do I live my life? What are the parts of myself? What are the streams that I'm most aware of and that I use mostly? So starting with them and seeing, how do they work for me? And how do they support me and fulfill my life? And how do they act as blocks? And how do they stop me from feeling more fully or completing what I feel is meaningful? So we look at the fact that most of us will have a primary way of moving through the world. So for the majority of people, it's either through the mind, through the intellect,